This podcast is brought to you in part by PNP Games, your online source for everything video games. Visit their website at pnpgames.com or at one of their 3 retail locations in Winnipeg, Manitoba. On this episode of the Nintendo Pulse podcast, episode 88, we're going to be talking about Mario Kart DLC, something called Pokken or Pokken, however you want to pronounce it, and Smash Brothers. Some huge stuff came out this week, but not from Nintendo. Should be interesting on this week's Nintendo Pulse. Alrighty, everybody. Turn that down a little bit. Welcome to the Nintendo Pulse podcast, episode number 88. As always, I'm your host, Lloyd Hannison. And joining me this week, Stephen Munn. Stephen, how the heck are you, Mr. Munn?
I'm on the show this week. How's it going?
I know we do rotate guests pretty frequently, but I think the random number generator that I've been using to do that has kind of busted because it's come up Stephen. Everything's coming up Stephen.
Everything's coming up Mill.
So how you been, man? It's been a week since we last talked. Any major life changes for you? Did you win $1 million?
No.
Frame any pictures?
Yes.
Paint a what? That's weird. That was odd.
I framed. I like to frame the posters that I get from Club Nintendo and the ones that are included with games and stuff like that. Like when the Metroid Prime trilogy came out in its like nice limited steelbook thing.
Oh yeah.
They put out a poster along with it. You were able to get a poster if you bought it, and I framed that poster. So I've also claimed all my Club Nintendo posters, framed all my Club Nintendo posters, and there was one. They had the Legend of Zelda poster series.
Yeah, that's nice.
I think it was actually a few years ago.
I have that too, and it's nicely rolled up in a tube in my closet because that's where all my posters go because apparently I'm an idiot.
I framed 2 of the posters, 2 of the 3 posters, and they're hanging. One's in here, one's in my kitchen, and the third one is a really strange size, like 16.5 by 27.7 inches or something like that. For people who still use inches. And it took me forever to get around to it, but what I did was I ordered a 20 by 30 poster frame.
Beautiful. It has me in it, in the frame.
Yeah, you are in the poster. Is that good?
Yeah, that looks perfect. Okay. Oh, that's nice.
So it's a 20 by 30 frame, and I had them cut a custom mat for it. And I asked them if they could do green, because Link is always wearing green, and I figured it would be a nice color to carry through, and then the black would be a nice classy.
Looks like they did a nice forest green for it as well. It's looks good, man. Good job.
Yeah, it came out really, really well. I got the hardware, everything today, and I opened it up and put the picture in. It took 2 attempts for me to frame it, because the first one, it was a little crooked.
My problem is I always get fingerprints on the inside glass, and then it makes me angry forever when I see it when the light hits it just perfectly. Uh-oh. Did we lose Steven again? We lost Steven. Oh, no. Are you still there in audio form?
I don't know what happened there.
Oh, okay. Now you're back. Ooh, we lost you. You froze.
Connection, and then it said reconnecting.
Bizarre. That's the second time it's happened tonight. Hopefully this isn't going to be a sign of things to come, but we'll keep on soldiering on just in case. Cool. Well, let's get on past the interior decoration, the Animal Crossing portion of our show. Okay. Let's talk about what we've been playing. So, how about I go first this week? You always go first, Steven. Good. You know what I've been playing this week? I bet you'll never guess.
Probably not the Retron 5.
Oh, yeah. That's 100% wrong, actually.
I watched your unboxing.
Did you watch it? Yeah.
Yes.
So everybody, if you haven't been following me on Twitter or checking out Vici Podcasts, I got a Retron 5 finally. Thank you to this guy that's joining me on the podcast. Steven sent me a super quick email when he got an email notifying that it was back in stock. I went in, immediately placed my order, got the black one, was super happy, and I was like, wow, that's weird. I was also on the waiting list notification thing, and I never got my email. I got my email on Saturday, so 2 days after you sent me your email, Steven. So if you wouldn't have sent that to me, I most likely would not have gotten one. So I thank you profusely for that, sir.
I ordered one at the same time, a second one. I figured I could either find somebody to sell it to at cost, or if you weren't able to get one, I could ship it to you. But we both ended up with with another Retron 5.
Did you get
so
it?
I have a black one, you have a black one.
Yeah, so you have two.
I have two of them.
You haven't found
I
someone
haven't
for
opened that one. I've thought about like having a contest, maybe a joint contest with the Nintendo Pulse podcast and Castlemania blog, but then I'd have to give up all the money that I spent on it.
Yeah, we'd have to come up with some sort of deal there to get back some of your money. But if you're looking to sell it, I might know someone in the States that might want to buy it. So let me know.
Oh, okay.
Let me know after the
let
show.
me know.
Cool. Well, yes, I did get a Retron. So if you want to see what unboxing a fresh Retron looks like, head on over to vgpodcast.com and look for my Retron 5 unboxing. And it's not just an unboxing because those are kind of boring. It's also my first gameplay. So it's taking it out of the box, talking about what it is, all the ports, explaining a little bit of what the system is, plugging it in, having a heart attack, recovering from that heart attack when things started working, and
You
then
have to press that power button a long time.
yeah, it's like they don't tell you that, or maybe they do in the manual that I didn't read.
It is in the manual.
Oh, okay.
Which is why I was laughing when you were unboxing. You took out the manual, like, oh, here's the manual that I'm not going to read. And I'm like, Lloyd's not going to know how long to hold down the power button. And then the next scene, you didn't know how long to hold down the power button. I think it's dead. Let me try unplugging it, plugging it back
which is
in.
totally hilarious because it's accurate. And yeah, I was panicking. I'm like, oh no. I'm thinking, like, because I had to order it from thinkgeek.com because they don't have a Canadian counterpart. And I'm thinking, okay, I had to pay $40 for duty and taxes, plus the $30 for shipping. So I'm already into this thing for $200. And then I'm going to have to maybe ship it back and then get a replacement unit, which I might also have to fight like DHL or UPS or whoever. They send back the replacement that I've already paid the duty once. And I'm just like, oh, I don't want this headache. This is going to be terrible. And all that went through my mind in the 5 seconds that I held the button down the second time. And then the blue light came on. I'm like, oh, it's working. Okay, plug the HDMI back in and do all that fun stuff. And and then, yeah, I proceeded to play an NES game, a Super Nintendo game, and a Game Boy Advance game. And it's amazing. Oh, what's that? I didn't see it.
NES controller.
Oh, there it is. Nice.
Dogbone Style is the one I used to play Crystals.
Is that like an official Nintendo product? I don't remember ever seeing that.
Yeah, they had the rectangular ones at first, and then later when they released the NES Mark II,
the updated,
they released it with these like Super NES E kind of ones, nice roundy ones.
Right. Okay, I do remember those now. Oh, that's nice. I've never actually seen one. I've heard of them. I've never actually seen one. I'll have to go look for one of those. They look comfortable.
Yep, they are. I acquired it from a friend who was getting rid of his NES.
Nice. So yeah, so I've been doing kind of what you've been doing for the last month, Steven. I've been going through like all my games, like you can see all my cartridges, all my boxes. They're empty now because the cartridges are on my desk or my coffee table actually. I acquired security bits so I could open up and clean cartridges that weren't quite working with the Retron, and found it super easy to clean games. Like I acquired an NES, one controller, and 6 games from a friend at work. Bought it for like $40 or whatever it was, and one of them was Donkey Kong Classics, which was Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. on one cartridge. I love playing Donkey Kong every once in a while, so I was like, that was a game that I wanted, and the fact that it was part of this package was amazing. Put it in. One of the first games I plugged in didn't work. I'm like, oh crap! It didn't even come up with like EEPROM error. It was just nothing. I'm like, okay. I take the cartridge, rattle it around. There's a bit of like tinking inside of it, and I'm like, okay, maybe one of the solder joints fell off. I was like, whatever. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go get some security bits. So you have to use a special Nintendo style security bit. Opened up the cartridge, took out the little circuit board, which is like a third or a fourth or a third or a quarter of the size of the entire cartridge is what the actual cartridge inside of it is. It's hilarious how much empty space there is. And then I just cleaned all the contacts with Q-tips and rubbing alcohol, and that particular game like dirtied 2 full Q-tips, like both sides, with rubbing alcohol. It was just filthy. Cleaned it, put it back in the thing, popped it in, immediately worked first time over. So I've proceeded to clean about 5 other games that were having intermittent errors, and it's like, okay, this is awesome. This is like, reminds me of back in the day and having to like, you had, I don't know if you were like me, Steven, but I had this like thing that I would do if games didn't work my NES. I would like I would take it out, I would shake it, I would hold it up to the light, I'd put it in, I'd stand on one foot, I'd put one hand on my head, I'd push it down with one finger, keeping the door open and then hitting power with a button, and then it would work. Obviously, you didn't have to go through all that, but there was like some crazy ritual that everybody would figure out to do. Most people blew on it. I did too, until I found out that was actually worse for it, because you're putting more moisture on the copper, which is going to make it work less. And it's also going to corrode the inside of your system. So I didn't do that, but there was other things that I was doing. And it's bringing me back to that time, which is really kind of hilarious.
I should show you sometime how I clean cartridges without opening them.
Yeah, I used to have one of the sanctioned Nintendo cleaning kits that had the little slider that you put the liquid on it and you would slide on both sides.
I remember those.
And I did that, or I didn't do that, but I did that with Q-tips, just on both sides that way without opening up the cartridge. But for ones that are really dirty and I can see the gunk there, I like opening them up and then cleaning past the traces into the circuit board and getting all that gunk off, just so it doesn't do any more damage to my game down the road.
You know what works really great though, even if you don't want to use rubbing alcohol. Some people think, since those boards are actually made of compressed paper, that they actually rot from the alcohol eventually. But if you don't want to use that, you can use like a pink rubber eraser, like a block eraser.
Yeah, a white one.
And that works really, really well at cleaning contacts.
Yeah, you get the softest eraser that you can find. Usually it's the white ones, or the really, really, really gummy pink ones work really well. You don't want something too hard, because then you're going to do more damage to it. But yeah, those work really well too. But yeah,
I usually use a cotton t-shirt. I have a 100% cotton t-shirt that's really, really dirty now, because I only use it for this.
Nice.
And I'll take the t-shirt and I'll put a credit card inside the t-shirt.
Okay.
And then I'll spray cleaner on the outside of that. I used to use contact cleaner, but now I just use like surface cleaner, like glass cleaner.
Okay.
Just Windex or whatever. And you get this nice hard edge in the shirt.
Right.
So it's covered with the cotton. And then I just put that inside and I rub it against the circuit board on both sides, and it comes out filthy. So the shirt looks ridiculous. It's got all these like little dirty lines from the insides of cartridges on it.
That's hilarious. We have to do a retro show and talk about all this stuff. That would be a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah, just turn on our Retrons and stuff, and we're there cleaning cartridges and trying to get them to run and stuff.
We'll stream for about 12 hours while we clean our entire cartridge collection and all that fun stuff.
I was thinking about doing a video for my blog where I was going to set it up with like an XSplit or something where there's an HDMI feed from the Retron, and then there's also a video of me talking at the same time.
Yeah. And
just go through all the different Castlevania games that run on the Retron 5 and talk about how they run and stuff like that, and just cover.
That's awesome.
Both at the same time. But
one thing I found is I can't find the original Castlevania in town anywhere, which is odd. Wow. I could find Castlevania 4. I could find some of the more rare ones because they have high price tags, but the original Castlevania is nowhere to be found. So my search continues. Speaking of
I have a spare, but it's just a cartridge. Do you want it?
Yeah, I could probably find it local, and it would be heck of a lot easier.
If you can't, let me know, and I'll mail it to you, obviously, for free.
Cool. Well, thanks, man.
It's just a loose cart, so
yeah, that's how I'm doing most of my games. I'm not going to do the complete in box route for most things. Just money. I actually went to pricecharting.com over the last little while. I put down all the games that I wanted to buy for NES. And even on price charting, it's going to be about $350 for all the games I want to buy. And that's probably 20 to 40% cheaper than you'll be able to find local. Or you could use those prices and buy them off eBay and hope to win auctions and then pay shipping. So it's just like you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't type thing. But I thought I'd rattle down some of the games that I've been playing. So I picked this one up. I never owned this one originally. This is Batman, the video game, the like really super classic. If you've seen Batman in a screenshot that looks bad, it's this game. We used to play this at my friend's house all the time. It is an amazingly terrible game. I love it. So I picked it up for like $10. It was super cheap, so I was super happy about that because this is one game that I've always wanted to own myself and never did when I was an NES owner way back in the day.
That's such a good game. What are you talking about? Terrible game.
Well, no,
that's like probably the best Batman game that was ever made before Arkham Asylum.
Oh, true. It's not a bad game, but it's one of those games where it's like super cheap. Like you'll
it's very hard.
You'll get hit, and there's nothing you can do except get hit. and it's like pull out your hair bad. It's like Ninja Turtles, the Ninja Turtles for NES, where it's a terrible game.
Because Batman's still fun.
Yeah, that's true. Batman is fun, but I don't mean bad. I mean it's bad where you just get so angry, but you just want to keep playing it. You just can't help yourself. Also picked this one up, ice hockey, because hockey.
I love that game.
This game is horrible in all the best ways, just like Batman. This is great. I'm still looking for Blades of Steel. I need a copy of Blades of Steel as well. A game I also never owned. Pro Wrestling for the NES. The
A Winner Is You.
A Winner Is You. This is like super old school because it has 5 screws. So this is like one of the first carts that came out when the NES first came out. It's like the first shipment of them. So this cartridge is really old, and it worked first time. I didn't even have to clean it or anything. It's cool. A really good shape, and I think the screws that they're using in this one aren't the normal security screws. So I
the 5-screw cartridges just had tiny little Phillips screws.
Yeah, pretty interesting. So Pro Wrestling is fun. Playing through that. I originally wanted to show it to my kids, but it's a horrible game that my son probably will not like. So I'm thinking of getting the WrestleMania game instead, which is a hell of a lot of fun.
That's a good game.
So I'll play Pro Wrestling and then we'll play WrestleMania together. Playing a lot of Super Mario 3. This is
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah. It's you might want to look into it. It's kind of popular.
Yeah, I have that.
I have 2 copies of this actually, because one was in that chunk of games that I picked up. So I have one in the box still behind me, which was my original one, and then this one. And then this game. Have you ever played Vice Project Doom, Steven?
Have I played Vice Project Doom? I'm not sure, but I do love Vic Tokai's games.
If you don't own this game, buy it. Mm-hmm. Trust me. I've owned this game for probably about 15 years, and I've never played it. It was bought from this video stop in my city went out of business, and they had a whole stack of NES games left over. I didn't realize they were going out of business. It was kind of one of these things where they announced they were going out of business on Friday, and the doors closed on Saturday. So they were blowing stuff out for like $5 a game, $5 a movie. So I went there right near the end, and I was a broke kid, and I'm just like, okay, I want some of these things. What do you have left? And all they basically had was a big stack of NES games. So I bought probably like a dozen games, complete in box with all the manuals and everything. And one of them was Vice Project Doom. And never played it. It is probably one of my favorite NES games of all time now that I've played it. And this is playing a game that is from 1985 now, cool. And still thinking is one of the best NES games I've played. You are a guy that has a sword, and you kill things, but that's not it. It's not a side. It's kind of like a side-scrolling beat 'em up, but it also has different game modes. So when you first start the game, you're actually top-down driving game like Spy Hunter, where you can shoot bullets out of the front of your car, and you actually have to blow up all these things and get to the end of that level. Then it goes to a side-scrolling beat 'em up, and then another side-scrolling beat 'em up, and then there's a boss battle, and then you're in something that looks like a light gun shooter where you're moving a cursor on the screen, and then you're doing more beat 'em up, and then you're doing more driving, and it's just the game itself is just amazing. It has all the best parts of a Contra and a Mega Man, and then it throws in the other genres that you just don't see in NES games, really, especially one that was so old. Like Battletoads kind of did that, but this one came out way before that. So
okay, cool.
If you don't own Vice Project Doom, pick it up. It is a really, really, really good game, and I'm super glad that I got it randomly out of a fluke way back in the day, and I'm really pissed that I never played it before, because I would have probably loved it and then would have played a lot more of it, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But
cool. I'll have to see if I can pick up a copy at one of my local retro game stores.
Yeah, they're not that expensive either. I think on price starting they're only like $10 or something, so it's not super expensive. So I've been playing some Super Nintendo as well. My wife has been playing a lot of Donkey Kong Country. I've been playing a lot of Mario Kart, the original. My kids have also been playing a lot of Mario Kart, the original, and loving it, so that's really cool. They've been playing Mario Kart 8 like crazy, and then going back to play Super Mario Kart, and they dig it. And then I finally picked up a copy of Street Fighter 2 Turbo. I owned Street Fighter Championship Edition on Super Nintendo. I bought it new. I paid like $95 for it.
Wow.
I bought the Capcom Fighter Power Stick, which was the joystick. It was about this big. It was about as big as, it's probably about a foot and a half wide and 6 or 8 inches tall. So it's like an arcade stick that you would buy for a modern console, and it had physical buttons and it had a joystick. And I would sit there and play Street Fighter for hours and hours and hours and hours. So I am super stoked about playing Street Fighter again, even though it's the turbo. I couldn't find the original one, which is kind of funny. I should have bought Super Street Fighter, but I didn't. That would have made a hell of a lot more sense. Then I wouldn't have to buy 2 copies of Street Fighter. But I found this one for like $15, so I picked it up and been playing a lot of that as well. So pretty much all I've done this week is retro game, and then a game came out on the PS4 that I've been waiting for, so I played a bit of that, and then I've been playing more retro stuff, playing Game Boy, playing Game Boy Advance. I even went out and bought a Genesis game because I don't own a Genesis cartridge.
Wow.
And
which one did you get?
A Sonic the Hedgehog one, complete in box
Okay,
for like $6. It was ridiculous. And yeah, so I'm loving the hell of the Retron, man. Like I said, I want to do some more retro content here on the network, one way or another.
I'm so in.
And I just want to talk about old games. Like, this is my passion, and I have an easy way to now capture video and stream this stuff. So if you guys are into this as well, if you like retro games, hit me up, shoot me an email, vgpodcast@gmail.com. Let me know what kind of content you'd like to see, because I could see myself doing a lot of streaming of old games and sort of jokey reviewing them and talking about how terrible they are and how bad I am at playing them and stuff like that. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. But yeah, Retron, Steven, thanks again, man. This has brought so much happiness to my house. Like, everybody has been down here every day this week playing games. I was podcasting last night, and Kara was sitting down playing a game just 5 feet in front of me on the couch, playing the Retron, because she loves old games too. So it's been gaming overload in my house, which has been really great.
Cool.
Really, really, really good. Besides that, really haven't been playing too much else. My kids had a video game day, and my wife said, yeah, I'm just going to let them play games today because our plans fell through, and they're kind of disappointed. I'm like, yeah, go for it. What are they going to play? And they're like, yeah, they want to play on the Wii U. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. I get home from work, and I found out that they played Mario Kart 8 for 6 hours straight. The both of them. So they unlocked all sorts of stuff. It was great. We have like so many parts to all the different karts. So I played a little bit of that as well, and just enjoying it. And I'll be talking a little bit more about that later in the show, because I'm super stoked for those announcements. Anyway, that's enough about me. Steven, what have you been playing?
With the Retron 5 being as amazing as it is, and as versatile as it is, I had a friend over the day after the show last week, and so last Friday, and I showed him Crystalis running on the the NES game Crystalis running on there, and he brought a big stack of his Famicom games because he has a collection of Famicom games.
Ah, nice.
He brought over Salamander, which came out here as Life Force.
Oh, I love that game.
Yeah, it was coincidentally just released on the Virtual Console, I guess, or like recently. So that is a great game. Now, the thing with Salamander, though, is it's a really, really hard game.
It is.
It's very cheap, extremely cheap. So after making a couple of attempts to get through properly, we fired up the Game Genie functionality on the Retron and gave ourselves infinite lives. Now, you had the option to make yourself invincible on there or untouchable, but we figured that would be a bit much and it would take all the fun out of the game. So we gave ourselves infinite lives, and because of the fact that when you die in that game, you continue right where you died. Mm-hmm. I think that only happens though if you play 2-player. I'm not sure. And we were playing 2-player. We were able to plow through the whole game in real time because it's all forced scrolling.
Yep.
And we had a great time. Or I had a great time. And he kept complaining that it was a little cheap with the cheating.
Yeah, but you're having fun. That's what matters. It's not like it's not like you bought it for $60 today and you beat it in an hour. You're going back and revisiting things. For one of the bosses in Vice Project Doom, I just kept dying over and over, and I flipped on invincibility, killed him, turned it off, played on the rest of the game, and had a hell of a lot of fun that way. I remember Life Force at a friend's house, us spending a whole Saturday beating the game. And we went from start to finish, dying so much in that game. But it was a lot of fun. Really great game. I'm going to have to find a copy of that at one point in my life, too.
Yeah, it was a great deal of fun. He also showed me some of the other Famicom games that he had. Like there's a Transformers game that came out on Famicom that's supposed to be famously terrible, and it was famously terrible. He goes, okay, here you go. Good luck with this one. And he plugs the cartridge in, and we start it up, and it's like Adventure of Convoy or something like that. Convoy is Optimus Prime in Japan.
Right.
So I started up the game, and my little cyan and pink Optimus Prime is standing there on the screen, and a jet flies in from the right side, and I died.
Nice.
And I was like, I don't know what happened. I don't know why I died. And he said, that's because the jet shot a bullet at you that's the same color as the background.
Oh.
And I said, that's great. And then I went into the Game Genie and turned on invincibility.
Immediately.
Immediately. And I started like playing through the game, and I had a good time. Played through the first stage and went through the first boss. The funny thing was there was so much funny in that game because it's such a terrible game. But I walked into the room where the boss is, and I didn't know it was a boss. I didn't know. I'm just standing there. I'm like, I don't know. There's a ball here with a thing in it. I don't know what's going on. Nothing's moving. Am I supposed to be fighting this?
And then you explode into...
well, I was invincible. So
that's true. That's true. So you wouldn't have died. But
right. But the weird thing about that was, when you turn on the cheats, the Game Genie cheats, all kinds of like unusual things happen. Weird things happen. Like if you give yourself infinite life in one of the Castlevania games, for example, I tried this. When you get to the end of the stage and it's counting off your remaining life at the end of the stage, it counts infinitely.
Nice.
Until you turn off the cheat.
Nice.
So you can't actually progress. And this was a game like that, where when I was invincible at the end, I couldn't walk off the last screen to go to the next stage. So I had to turn it off and then back on.
That's so funny.
Yeah. We tried some other stuff too, a few other weird, neat games. And with the Mario Kart 8 2.0 patch, I played a little bit of that. I sat down, and the Special Cup was the only one that I hadn't 3-starred in 100cc. And right after the patch, I sat down and 3-starred on my first try through that cup, which was great. So now I'm on to 150cc.
Fun.
Played some Rocket Knight on PS3. That's a great game. I got that a few years ago.
Really good game.
Lords of Shadow 2 for PS3. That was on sale for $20 at GameFly. And I'd been waiting for the price to come down because it was still $60 a lot of places. And the reviews were pretty poor.
Yeah.
I didn't want to pay a lot of money for it, and I didn't mind it was already opened. So I waited, and it paid off. So for $20, I got the game, and I played it for about 45 minutes before determining that the reviews were correct. The game is kind of awful, and I don't think I'm going to go back to it anytime soon.
Oh.
And I've been trying to play Animal Crossing New Leaf every day because I'm now determined to get Gracie the last 2 times, if it takes the rest of my life. I'm sick of the fact that even people who just got a 3DS XL for the first time and Animal Crossing a couple of months ago now have the best shop. I'm really getting crappy.
I wonder what's happening with your game. Like maybe your game is bugged or something.
I don't know.
That's so bizarre.
What it is.
Turn on the Game Genie functionality of your Retron. Maybe it can help you. Oh wait. Cool.
And that's it for me. I think that's all I've been playing this week.
Awesome. Well, that's a lot of stuff. We went a little retro crazy here. We just babbled for 30 minutes about retro games, so hopefully that we didn't bore too many of you people out there. Let us know what you think of the idea of talking about retro stuff on one-offs here on a separate podcast. On a separate podcast, exactly. All right, well, let's move on. Let's get into notable releases. I'll quickly go through these ones. SteamWorld Dig for the Wii U, fun game. Played it on the PS4. It's kind of like a game called Dig It on the iPad that I loved. You're basically digging underground, finding stuff, coming up, getting rid of that stuff, getting more money that you can buy more things to go deeper, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's a really fun game, and if you're looking for kind of an adventure game with some digging aspects to it, definitely a fun game to check out. We have Azure Striker Gunvolt, and Mighty Gunvolt came out for 3DS. That is the $15 game from ex-Mega Man creators that are working together on this one. So Azure Striker Gunvolt is $15, and if you buy that one, you get Mighty Gunvolt, which is the more 8-bit, very Mega Man styled game, which you'll get for free as a free download for buying the first one. I watched a 20-minute playthrough of Azure Striker Gunvolt today, and it looks really good. I'm going to have to pick up a copy very soon to play this one.
Yep, comes out tomorrow. I can't wait.
I can't wait. Mega Man X3 comes out for the Wii U on the Virtual Console. Leighton vs. Wright is finally coming out on the 3DS after what seems like a 12-year development cycle to get this one out. They've been talking about it for so long. It is finally out. It came out yesterday, I guess, or on Tuesday. Have you heard much about it? Like any sort of anybody reviewing it? Anything about it? I've heard absolutely nothing. So I don't know what that means about this.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything either.
Interesting. All right, well, moving on. Street Fighter 2010, the final fight on the Wii U. Weird title. This is a Virtual Console title, correct?
Yeah, that's an NES game.
It's originally an NES game, that's right. I remember hearing about this. I don't remember ever playing it or...
I played it when I was a kid.
Really? Doesn't it have like a really terrible... I'm looking for the image on Google Image Search. Doesn't it have like a cyborg, like a really bad cyborg? Yeah, there it is. This like super silver guy punching a pink guy in the face with a dragon behind him or something. I remember this game just from seeing it. And I've never rented it or whatever, but it is now available.
It's a platformer. They changed the name of it when it came here to Street Fighter 2010: The Final Fight. Even though it wasn't related to the Street Fighter series, they changed it to that to make it sell better, I think.
Yeah, and because it is released by Capcom, so they didn't sue themselves for doing that. But yeah, it's totally not a Street Fighter game. And it's not a
what's funny is it's
not a Final Fight game,
which is now in the past.
Yeah, exactly. it's in the future. We're going to take Street Fighter and Final Fight and put them together in a game that resembles neither of the two. So bizarre. And Nobunaga's Ambition.
Nobunaga.
Nobunaga. Yeah, I always call it Nobunga. I'm sorry. Nobunaga's
I used to do that
Ambition.
as a kid too.
And
I was like, "Oh, Nobunaga's Ambition."
It's not even pronounced. It's not even spelled that way. But anyway, that's out and on the Wii U right now for download or coming tomorrow, I guess. I don't know when it's actually releasing. September 4th. So so it's not even out for a little bit. It's not out until next week. Nobunaga's Ambition.
Yeah, those two, they announced those separately, weirdly enough. Like the rest of the stuff is supposed to come out on the eShop at midnight tonight. It's tomorrow. But like Street Fighter and Nobunaga's Ambition are supposed to be coming out like a few days later, which is weird. I guess they've been doing that a few times lately.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So check that out if you're looking for some stuff to play. All right, well, let's get into the deals section. The reason why I went through notable releases is because Steven's going to be talking for about the next 47 minutes on all the deals that are out there right now. So, Steven, tell us.
I'll try and do it quick because there's a lot of them.
What is cheap?
Capcom's doing a bunch of deals on the eShops, the Wii U and 3DS eShops. So I'm going to do these pretty quick. On the Wii U eShop, you have Dungeons and Dragons Chronicles of Mystara, which is that cool double pack, Dungeons and Dragons double pack of brawlers. That is $6.75, which is like about half price, roughly half price until the 4th of September. All of these are on sale until the 4th of September, so I won't have to keep saying that. So $6.75 down from $14.99. DuckTales Remastered is $7.49 down from $14.99.
Buy it.
Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate is $15.99 down from $39.99.
Nice.
Resident Evil Revelations is $19.99 down from $50. Why was that $50? Street Fighter 2 The World Warrior for Super NES, you were just talking about that before. That's down from $8 to $5. Super Street Fighter 2 The New Challengers.
Nice.
That's $5 down from $8.
I wish I could find that locally for $5 on cartridge. I'd love that, but that'll never happen.
There you go. Street Fighter 2 Street Fighter 2, what do you say when there's with the little mark? There's mark, right? 2 mark?
Yeah. Like
Street Fighter 2 Mark Turbo Hyper Fighting. That one's down to $5.
There were so many Street Fighters for Super Nintendo. It was ridiculous.
I know. Street Fighter Alpha 2.
Good.
$5.
That is
down from $8.
To buy that on cartridge is like $80. So that's a really good price.
Oh, okay, cool. Didn't they release like a PS2 Street Fighter collection that had all of these games, but the arcade versions wrapped into the one?
Yeah, exactly. I had Street Fighter Alpha and Street Fighter Alpha 2, I believe, on my PlayStation as single, and then they came out with the multi-pack that had like every flavor of Street Fighter ever, which was great.
I remember looking at that for PS2 and thinking about buying it. That just I don't understand. I don't understand the. I've written articles about this in the past, like years ago, about how frustrating it is that Nintendo keeps plopping these Street Fighter games out on their virtual console. $8, $8,
exactly.
$8 for almost the same game. It's like, ugh.
Yeah, it's funny. I was reading an article way back in the day, and they did bit comparisons between the ROMs, and between Street Fighter: The World Warrior and Street Fighter 2 Turbo, the changes to the cartridge was like maybe 20. Like, what was it, 20K or something, so like almost nothing of difference, and it was basically the whole similar game. They had a bit of a different intro, and it had the turbo functionality, and that was the only thing that was different about it, and they sold it like the next year for another $85, and people bought it like crazy. It was just amazing. They made so much money off of Street Fighter on Super Nintendo.
Yeah, they're burning through it these days. Okay, over to 3DS eShop. There's not as many deals there, but there's still good deals. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies, that one's down to $17.99 from $29.99. Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate's on sale there too, but not as cheap as the Wii U version. It's $19.99 instead of $39.99. Resident Evil Revelations is also on sale there for $9 instead of $20. That's pretty good deal, I think.
Yeah.
Resident Evil: The Mercenaries 3D is also $9, down from $20, and Super Street Fighter 4 3D Edition is $10 instead of $20, and that's a pretty decent game.
That is. It's really interesting, this sale. Some of the stuff is half price, some is less than half price, and some is more than half price. It's like they don't have a plan. It's just, what do you think this is worth now? Oh, it's $7.49 for DuckTales, or it's $6.75 for Dungeons and Dragons, or it's $4.99 down from $7.99 for a Super Nintendo cartridge. It's just this really weird pricing scheme. I don't know.
I'm thinking of picking up Dungeons and Dragons Chronicles of Mystara because I wanted that when it first came out, and $6.75 is a great price. I was watching it on Steam because I figured it would probably end up cheaper on Steam, and I thought I had picked it up, but I don't have it in my library, so I'm gonna maybe I'll just pick it up on the Wii U, play it there.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. All right, let's get into it. Let's jump right into the news. So we had a lot of Nintendo news come this week. Some of it was just thrown out. Actually, most of it was just thrown out. The first one that kind of caught the internet by storm. I basically woke up, went to work, opened up Twitter as I normally do, and my email, and I'm checking email, and I keep seeing stuff flash on my Twitter client, and I see Joe Foreman's face coming up a lot. I'm just like, what is he talking about now? And he's talking about DLC, and if you bought the game, and if it was worth it when you bought the game, why are you complaining when they add stuff? And I'm like, Mario Kart DLC? What are you talking about? Are you talking about the stupid Mercedes pack? And so I go read into it, and it's like, no, Nintendo just silently announced that they're coming out with DLC for Mario Kart 8 that pretty much doubles the game. And it's going to be, what was it, $12.99 for $11.99 for the DLC packs. So both packs, or you can buy them separately if you want. Really interesting stuff. So they announced that there's going to be 2 DLC packs available. One is going to be coming in November, and that's called the Zelda pack. So that's going to have Tanuki Mario, Cat Peach, which looks amazing, and Link. And so the screenshot that they showed for that DLC pack is Link on a really badass looking motorcycle, and immediately made me say, I want to play this. I want to play this right now. So that'll be coming out in November. Besides the 3 characters, it comes with 4 vehicles. One of them being the Blue Falcon from F-Zero, which is kind of funny. And it's going to come with 8 courses, so 2 whole cups. So 8 new courses, not like reskins, not like you're playing Mario Circuit with a pipe in the middle of the road. It's whole new courses, which is pretty amazing, including one of those courses being an F-Zero themed stage. pretty cool stuff. I'll talk about the next one, and then we'll talk about the whole package, Stephen. In May of next year, so quite some ways away, they're coming out with the Animal Crossing pack, which is going to come with 3 characters. The villager, so creepy villager, will be staring people down. So it won't be evil Luigi.
Oh my god! Wouldn't that be great?
It'll be evil villager. Hopefully, you're holding an axe while you do that, and you just kind of go and stare at the guy as you drive by. That would be awesome. So villager Isabelle from Animal Crossing, and then Dry Bowser. So Dry Bones Bowser, who looks pretty badass in here. You get 4 vehicles as well. They haven't announced what any of those vehicles are yet, as far as I can tell. And also 8 courses, so 2 full cups again. And one of those cups being an Animal Crossing stage. So huge news. So for $12, you're going to basically double the content of your game. If you buy both of these DLC packs, whether you buy them separately for, what are they, $8.99 each? Or is it $7.99 each?
I think they are $7.99 each, or $11.99 for the 2 together.
That's right. So $8 each, or $12 for both. Either if you buy them separately or you buy them in the bundle. If you do that, you'll immediately get access to a Yoshi and Shy Guy bundle pack. Essentially, instead of just one person being green Yoshi, when you choose Yoshi in your game, you have 9 colors now you can choose from. The original green plus 8 more. And the same thing for Shy Guy. So if you ever had a fight in your house where everybody wanted to be Yoshi, just buy this bundle pack and your problem will be solved. There'll be multi-Yoshis on your tracks, which is kind of cool. And that's immediately made available after buying both of the packs. So if you pre-order it, you'll get it immediately. If you buy one now and then one in 2 months or 5 months, or you wait till May, you'll get access to it then. So really interesting. So there's a couple things about this that I want to kind of go over. First of all, Steven, what do you think about the DLC as a whole? Like, what do you think of Nintendo releasing huge downloadable content like this for their game?
Fantastic.
Right?
Very welcome. We've wanted that from release. You and I have talked about it on the show, I think, a few times, how great it would be if they released more tracks and cars. Don't
make us wait 6 years for another game. Just release more tracks, because that's what we want. We want more tracks.
Make it a platform. Until you have something revolutionary to warrant a release of new game, make it a platform.
Totally. We're on seeing eye to eye on that, and that is really good. So this is the next one. This is the one that the internet exploded over, and I just sat there, shook my head, and said, "Internet." Instead of going Nintendo, I went,
yeah,
Internet.
Finally we're not going Nintendo.
Yeah.
We're going everybody else.
Exactly. They complained that the addition of characters out of the Mario world, so Link and Animal Crossing characters, they said that it's destroying the franchise. It's ruining the sanctity of their game.
Whenever somebody says sanctity, I stop listening.
Exactly. That basically what Nintendo's doing right now is just a money grab. And if they wanted to release other characters in the game, they should have been there from day one. So I was reading all this hate on Twitter and other stuff, and I'm just standing there like, what the hell is your problem, people? Like, everybody wants Mario Kart to be the Nintendo platform for racing. Like, this should be Smash Brothers with cars. You should have all the different Nintendo games in this thing. It would be amazing. Imagine if you had like 50 different drivers from all different Nintendo games. How amazing would it be racing online with this game?
Yeah. I mean, I can there's a piece of this, a tiny piece of this that I kind of can understand. Mm-hmm. And that is that I'd like to see more drivers from within the Mario universe. I'd like to see Donkey Kong Jr. come back. I'd like to see, some of the other Mario characters that we haven't seen in karts before.
Sure.
And for them to be doing like Link, Isabelle, and Villager before thinking about that is surprising, but not a problem. Mm-hmm. I love Zelda. I love Animal Crossing, and I'm going to enjoy driving around as Isabelle or the Villager or Link. And I can understand if people are like, well, could they put a checkbox in the settings so that, if, maybe hide the DLC ones so that we don't see them. So maybe when they go online, it'll plug in Mario or something, or a random Shy Guy or something. So if they're bothered by seeing Link or Isabelle, then they don't have to. But yeah, I mean, it's like, Yeah, and Trey Too Fast said it here. It says it is not like they gave us a smaller game than any other Mario Kart. They're just giving us more, and that's exactly right. I mean,
Mario Kart 8.
No reason to think that this is even on disc DLC. The downloads are like a gig per pack.
Exactly. Like Mario Kart 8 already was one of the biggest, if not the biggest Mario Karts. There's so many characters. There's so many tracks. The only thing about Mario Kart 8 that I hate is the battle mode. If they could sell me another DLC pack with classic battle mode, boom, I'm there day one. I'm buying battle mode tracks until they stop releasing them. I'd buy new tracks every week if they came out with them. I love the classic battle mode. So basically what they did is they sold you a game for $60 that was the best version of Mario Kart. It took them 8 tries to get to this ultimate version of Mario Kart. And now they're saying, we want to make it better. So here, for $12, you can have all this extra stuff. You can double the amount of courses that you have. If you don't like it, don't buy it. Simple. The only thing that people are bitching about, which I can kind of understand, I guess, is that if you don't buy the DLC, you still see question marks.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, you're advertising to me, and my game's not going to be complete if I don't buy it. No, your game is complete. It's 100% complete. You can even go to your Wii U menu and delete the game and then get rid of all the updates and then just play it off the disc, and you won't see that stuff anymore. Of course, you'll have to keep being annoyed with the update messages that are going to come up. But if that is something that you're so convinced that you need to do, go do that. And then you have the game that you paid for. Unfortunately, you won't be able to get online and play with other people because your clients won't match, right? I don't see the hate. I don't see the anger. All I see is Nintendo finally giving us what we've been talking about for 5 years. Like, give me more levels for Mario. I don't want to buy Super Mario 3D Land 3. I want to buy more levels for Super Mario 3D Land. I don't want to buy Super Mario 3D Land 2. I don't want to buy that coin.
Unless they have something to warrant the new.
Yeah, I just want to buy the game, and I want to download content for stuff that I want to download content for. Like I bought the new DLC for Infamous Second Son. It's kind of its own separate game, but I love that world. $15, I bought another thing, and I got 6 to 8 hours worth of gameplay, and more if I go and scrape all the trophies. People don't buy it, they don't buy it. I'm not going to complain and say, well, I didn't get the full game because now there's all this DLC that I have to buy. It's like, no, you don't have to buy it. You can buy it if you want, but you don't have to.
It's not like they're charging you for a security or stability patch or something that makes the on-disc functionality work properly. They're adding content.
Yeah, it's not like what game were you talking about last week where all the DLC is on the disc and you're basically buying it piecemeal?
Dragon Quest IX, was that it?
Right. That if all these characters were on the disc and you could see them, if you like took the disc, plugged into your PC and looked at the art assets on it, that would be one thing. But this is all new content, and it looks like 8 new courses times 2. That's a lot of new content to play with this game.
Meticulously designed, exhaustively play-tested courses that you're going to be able to use online and everything.
By Nintendo.
Yes.
So you know quality is there because Nintendo's going to release it. So I don't know. I'm super, super stoked about this. I can't find anything to complain about other than battle mode, but this doesn't cover battle mode, so I'll give them a pass for now, but hopefully they patch in,
maybe next time,
hopefully they patch in something awesome that makes battle mode usable for me. I want more. Like, come up with packs every 3 months. People will buy this stuff. Nintendo, Mario Kart is such a powerhouse for your system. If you want people to buy the console and buy games, keep giving them new stuff to do in Mario Kart, and you're going to get more and more people buying Wii U's just to play the new stuff, because that's all everybody's been talking about this week online.
And I'm astonished at the value too. The pricing is very, very good.
Yeah, you're paying basically $1 per thing that's in the pack if you buy them separately. If you buy them together, you're paying 67 cents per thing, or whatever the math works out to.
Which is just a great deal. $12 for an additional 50% worth of tracks. I mean, half as many again tracks.
Yeah.
16 tracks. 16 more tracks.
Yeah.
And that includes 2 cups of retro tracks, remakes of tracks from old. I hope Coconut Mall is in there. But even if it's not, I'll still be happy.
Yeah, I'm super stoked. I want to see what all this stuff is. I want it now. Thank you, Nintendo, for finally getting into current days, getting into the way games have been for the last little while,
and with a vengeance.
And I'm really excited to see what happens, like with Smash Brothers. Is there going to be DLC packs for Smash Brothers? Like,
there will be.
What was the Sony PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale, where you could download character packs for a couple bucks? The game wasn't that great, but imagine if you do that with Smash Brothers, or you do it through the amiibo stuff. You buy, you buy a Wario amiibo character, and then you slap it down on your thing. If you don't already have that character, it downloads it from the internet. Boom, you have a new fighter, and you can take it online and play with other people. Like stuff like that. Like the fact that Nintendo is getting the internet right now makes me really excited for what they have planned moving forward.
It's fantastic. I mean, this is the kind of thing that, when I was saying that I hope that the Wii U has difficulty at launch, this is the kind of thing that, I thought Nintendo might come to if they had to struggle with the Wii U, if it wasn't handed to them. The whole generation wasn't handed to them like it was with the Wii.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's very exciting. It's great. I mean, I can't get over what a great deal it is for the $12.
It's amazing. And the best part of all of this, it's not horse armor. It's not just cosmetic stuff. It's new content, new characters, which will have new stats. It's new cars. It's new levels. It's just what you would hope out of DLC in 2014. So Nintendo learned from everybody else. They didn't release horse armor packs for Mario Kart. Here, give Peach a new color lipstick and a different color bow in her hair, and there you go. Give me $4, please. This is a huge value for the money, and I'm really excited for it.
And on top of all that, you get all the different, like the 9 different colors of Yoshi, the 9 different colors of Shy Guy.
Yeah.
And those are there immediately, plus the free BMWs.
Yeah.
Or Mercedes or whatever they are.
Yeah.
Mercedes-Benzes.
Yeah. It's kind of cool. That's what they did with the Mario Golf on the 3DS. If you bought the season pass for DLC, you immediately got access to Gold Mario and some other thing. I can't remember what the other thing was. Which was great. I mean, Gold Mario's huge. Every time that you shoot the ball, coins stream from your ball. If you want to buy all the stuff in the game, that was a huge value. If you didn't want to buy the DLC, you could just wait for the 6 months until both DLC packs came out, and then you get it for free. So they're getting it. They're not just doing the cosmetic stuff. They're actually putting new stuff in the games to extend your playtime with the games, which is exactly what everybody wants from a DLC.
It is. It's great.
Awesome. All right, well, let's move on. Let's move into the next thing that was literally just dropped one day on the internet with a surprise video stream from Nintendo, kind of. Nintendo and I won't say Nintendo. Pokemon and Tekken are now coming together for a new game that's coming to Japanese arcades called Pokken Tournament. That's Pokken, Pokken, so Pokemon and Tekken kind of squashed together. Don't go to Google image search and search for Pokken, because that is a disease, and you will see lots of really gross images.
Safe search is on.
Yeah, it's not nudity or anything, but it's people that have like full body like measles. Like that's Pokken. Not a really good name for a game when it's already something else that is really gross and disgusting. But anyway, so Bandai Namco, or is it this week? Are they back to Namco Bandai? I didn't get any press releases from them recently.
Is this an even numbered week this year?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Carry the one. I don't know. So Bandai Namco, they make Tekken. They're partnering with the Pokemon Company for a game, Pokken Fighters and Pokken Tournaments. So they've trademarked the game in Japan, in Europe, and the US, but it has only been said that it's coming to Japanese arcades so far, and it's only an arcade release so far. They didn't even talk about whether it's coming to arcades. They said it's coming to arcades first, but they didn't say that it eventually will come to other consoles. That immediately had the internet say, "Oh, well, Bandai Namco is going to release it multi-platform. It's going to be on the Wii U. It's going to be on the PlayStation 4. It's going to be on the Xbox One," because they release all their games like that. And that was another thing where I just kind of went, internet, they're crazy. I can't see a place in time where this game appears on anything other than the Wii U, if it even appears on the Wii U. But anyway, Pokken Tournament is going to be a fighting game with Pokemans. So if you're into Pokemon, great. If you're into fighting games, great. If you're into both, this is like your wet dream. This is going to be something amazing for everybody. So I'm quite excited for what this actually is. Just to see it. I don't want to play it necessarily, but I'm interested to see what it is.
Yes.
And it's Nintendo talked like with all of their financial all their financial issues that they had. They were talking about partnering with other companies where it made sense. So I guess this is one of the things that makes sense for them. They want to work together with other people on a game, and that it became Pokken Tournament, which it just sounds ridiculous. Like, come on with a different name, please. But anyway, this will be coming out sometime presumably in 2015, and the main producers of Tekken and Soul Calibur are working together on the project. So if you like fighting games, this could be pretty darn exciting. If you like Lucario with a blade that looks like something out of Star Wars, a double-bladed lightsaber, it also is kind of exciting for that instance as well.
It's a weird idea.
Did you ever think Nintendo would be partnering with a fighting game maker to make a game where things beat the crud out of each other?
Well, Smash Brothers as an idea by itself is very weird for Nintendo.
Yeah, but
and I read some stuff that said that there was a lot of debate about it at Nintendo when they were talking about the idea. They were like, oh, I don't know if this is a good idea for us to have Mario and Yoshi beating the tar out of each other. And then it was this huge hit, and they were like, okay, it was a good idea.
But no one died. They just flew off the screen. Like no one really got hurt. Like, this looks like it's going to be violent because it's from Tekken.
Well, Pokemon's been cockfighting from the beginning.
That's true. That's
pretty
true.
Terrible.
Yeah, that's really true. I'm going to breed you and keep you enclosed in this small little room and throw you out to fight for me. And then if you don't do well, I will neglect you and put you in a shelf somewhere. Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, Pokken Tournament. We'll probably have
Michael
more.
Vick, big Pokemon fan.
Oh God. Please don't. All right, moving on. Let's get into another big announcement that didn't come from Nintendo. We're not going to cover the details of this leak because I don't want to spoil anything for people that don't want spoilers. But this week, a huge leak happened for Smash Brothers. So
this was off-screen video of the 3DS version.
That's right.
And stills, like photographs of the 3DS version.
From the ESRB, presumably, because of the username that was on the character was ESRB 0032 or whatever it was. So what a series of videos hit the internet. They hit NeoGAF, then they were on YouTube, and they were circulated around all the websites. And they showed a whole bunch of unannounced playable characters that will be presumably in the 3DS version at least of Smash Brothers. So I watched the video. I watched one of the three anyway, and sure enough, at one point it shows a level select screen, and there's a whole bunch of faces that I had never seen before, especially not on Nintendo's website. So this hit the internet, and then there was some repercussions that were kind of felt about this. The videos were eventually taken down with a copyright claim from Nintendo. So obviously they're not doctored. It would be far too hard to doctor this stuff. But they were taken down from the internet. And then some rumors began to flow that Nintendo actually figured out who leaked these videos. It was actually a Nintendo employee, allegedly, who worked in their ESRB wing. So the team that gets stuff ready, prepares the ESRB builds, and then pushes them forward. And apparently after this person was fired from the company, he still had one of the unlocked ESRB 3DS handhelds with the game on it that had not been recovered yet. So there's all this like crazy he said, she said kind of stuff. Usually not something that you hear when it comes to Nintendo. They're usually pretty, like, everybody that works for the company loves the company. They would never do anything to harm the company. I think this is the first time that I've ever heard of something maybe kind of dirty happening inside of Nintendo, if that story is even true. because Nintendo hasn't come out with a press release saying what happened.
Yeah, I'm sure this guy's in for some serious trouble if he doesn't surrender the stuff to Nintendo, and he probably could be facing a lot of legal action
for leaking it
to begin with.
Yeah, exactly. So basically these videos that aren't available anymore basically showed, I think, 4 new characters that haven't been announced yet. So
something like that, yeah.
So I think if nothing else, that means that there's going to be a Nintendo Direct in the near future that's just going to show this stuff off, because the cat's already out of the bag. You can't really put it back. But yeah, kind of sad. Like, so many characters, so many things were leaked by people or things or whatever about Smash Brothers. Like, this is the most leaks that I think has ever happened for a Nintendo game, period. Usually it's like you find out about it when it comes out and you're wowed about it, or they release a trickle of information. But we've heard about some of the characters that were in these videos 6 months ago. I saw a listing from a voice actor who put that they were playing this one character in Smash Brothers, and you look at smashbrothers.com and that character's not listed there. So, hey, what's happening? And sure enough, like, there's all these leaks from all over the place. Kind of amazing. I'm going to be interested to follow this story as new things come out about it. And I really wonder if it was a Nintendo employee that did that. If that's the case, my God, that's horrible. And hopefully he never works for another game company to do something similar like that, because that's just really dirty.
Yeah, and the anticipation for Smash Brothers is huge.
Totally.
I'm not surprised that people are trying to find out information, but an internal leak like that is just...
Totally. It's one thing
bad.
It's one thing to leak a small video like a Vine on your personal Facebook that you don't think anybody will find, but to put it on NeoGAF, which is the biggest internet forum for people talking about video games, like tens of thousands of people immediately are going to get clued into that. Thousands are going to read it, and then it's going to go to other gaming news sites, and it's going to be picked up by hundreds of thousands of people.
And I'm sure he signed some kind of non-disclosure contract that he's now in violation of, and bad stuff.
Excuse me, I just had to take a drink of water. Yeah, it's horrible. Anyway, as I said, we're not going to cover the characters that were leaked, just in case you want to be surprised. But it's intriguing. We'll just say that. All right, moving on. Before the show, I was telling Steven about a really crazy Pokemon pre-order bonus that's coming out. Apparently, I think it was Toys R Us. If you buy Pokemon Omega Red and Alpha Sapphire, if you buy them both, you get Charizard plush, which is just like, I buy both Pokemon games and I get an old like Game Boy Color starter. Okay, that totally makes sense. Anyway, that was a weird thing, but that's not what we're talking about now. In Europe, it's been announced that pre-order bonuses for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, if you pre-order from, where is it?
Game, I believe.
Yeah, Game. You get Steelbook game cases. So if you're not familiar with Steelbook, they're the metal cases. You get a lot of stuff for games and a lot of like DVD and Blu-ray.
Metroid Prime Trilogy came in that originally.
Yeah, exactly.
Steelbook.
This is the first time I've ever seen it used in a portable game, though.
Yeah, I think so too.
Which is weird. So yeah, Steelbook for Pokemon. They look nice. Like, they're full color on the metal. They look really, really great, but it's just kind of a weird pre-order bonus. And it looks like other companies in Europe are doing like different keychains, so you can get like a Torchic or some other keychains, and then there's even some other pre-orders that are happening there with little figures as well. I haven't heard anything about North America. The only pre-order bonus I heard is buy both and we'll give you a plush that you probably already own if you're a big Pokemon fan.
Right.
Really kind of weird. Europe's getting all the pre-order bonuses lately, and it's kind of a weird phenomenon. Like Japan gets all of the special edition 3DSs. Europe gets all the really wicked pre-order bonuses, like full-size statues, and we get to sit here on the internet and complain.
We do get some of them, fortunately, but
That's true.
I don't see any sign of these.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of times it seems when we do get special editions for things, particularly for Nintendo games, there's less in the box than Europe gets.
Yeah.
Like, you remember the Mario Kart one?
Yeah. It was, you got trophies, you got steering wheels. Like, there was all these crazy bundles that you could get, or pre-order bonuses, and we got nothing essentially. There was also what game was it that I was looking at? Oh yeah, Bravely Default. So the Bravely Default pre-order bonus here was supposed to be collector's guide and cards and all this fun stuff, which was great. Europe got like they had a special edition that had a full statue in it, so you could have
there's a statue of Agnes in there,
and it's like, oh, I want that one. Come here, I want that one. But anyway, yeah, we're not getting the cool stuff. Hopefully that changes in the near future.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yep. All right, cool. Well, we're about to end the show. Let's end off with one final quick little thing. Miyamoto has a huge interview in the latest edition of Edge magazine. He's on the cover. It's a huge spread. So if you want to hear what the man has to say, I urge you to go pick up Edge or read some of the stuff that's been posted online. But there was one interesting thing that I wanted to talk about. He went on to talk about Splatoon. So that's the really great game they showed off at E3, a team-based shooter with squids that fire ink. And this is a quote from Shigeru Miyamoto. There were heated debates over who the main character or who the main player character should be, whether it should be Mario or a squid. We talked about the possibility of it being Mario. Of course, we could think of the advantages. Anybody would be willing to touch it as soon as we announced that we had a new Mario game. But at the same time, we had some worries. If it were Mario, we wouldn't be able to create any new IP. So I read that, and it made me totally smile because I could totally see Nintendo having this conversation. We should put Mario in it because everybody will buy Mario. But if we keep putting Mario in stuff, we're not making new stuff, and people complain we're not making new stuff. But people aren't going to buy the new stuff, but they will buy it if we put Mario in it. I could just see this huge conversation that was happening at a boardroom somewhere, and it made me smile. Shigeru Miyamoto, he can't say anything that doesn't make me smile. He just seems like he's like the Stan Lee of video games. Like
he kind of is.
He's
That's
like
a really good example.
He's so lovable, and you just want to hug him. Like you just want to walk up and give him a big hug.
He's like a 60-year-old child.
Yeah,
it's
totally.
Really very charming.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, Splatoon almost was another Mario game, but I'm
glad they went with the squeeds.
I'm very, very excited as well. Maybe there'll be a Mario hat that you can wear as a bonus or something. Maybe they'll put some Mario love into it anyway.
Mario DLC.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so it's not
DLC to turn it into a Mario game.
It's not Mercedes-Benz. It's Mario DLC for this one.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, cool. Well, that's going to about do it for this episode of the Nintendo Pulse podcast. I'll put this on. We love hearing from you guys.
Did you see Gone Home is coming to Wii U? That's kind of neat, isn't it?
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, they just announced that was posted today, I think.
Oh, cool. I've always wanted to play Gone Home, so that might be my one chance to do that.
I have it on Steam. I got it as part of a Humble Bundle, I think.
Excellent. Cool. Well, if you're not playing Gone Home, why don't you send us an email? Let us know what you think of the show. Head on over to vgpodcast.com. Easy to do it there. You can leave us a voicemail or just send us an email directly at vgpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to call us on your phone, your physical device that you hold up to your ear, you can do that very easily at 505-VG-Podcast. Steven, thanks for another great show, man.
Oh, this was great. I had a good time today.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was a really good show.
Retro, man. Talking retro.
Yeah, we got to do a retro show.
We got to talk retro for sure. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for episode 88 of the Nintendo Plus podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. And thanks for telling your friends. And we'll talk to you in about a week's time, everybody. Take it easy.